2025 has been the year of retail expansion.
Opening a second store or a third store in a city is much better than opening a new store in a new city. Marketing needs density. It's actually online and offline really complement each other. Omni is the path ahead.
Marketing calendar is useless without a measurement calendar.
Yes, the cue that you don't need to spend only in offline to get traffic offline. You can spend online to get traffic offline.
2025 has been the year of retail expansion. When I interact with founders of so many brands, the common thing I hear from them is I am opening more stores. But at the same time, I get an ask from them as well. Anshuk, can you help me make my store profitable? What is the time frame before which my store can turn P&L positive? For the longest time, we didn't have very clear answers to it. But now, with Meta rolling out the Omni-channel capabilities, you can actually run ads in the vicinity of a store on Facebook and Instagram and drive people to walk into your store and make a purchase. To unpack this, I couldn't have asked for a better lineup of partners than leaders from Meta and leaders from some of the fastest growing retail brands in India. Welcome to the AdYogi Meta Omnichannel podcast series. Joining me today is Ayush, CMO at BombayShirtCompany. I've had the fortune to interact with Ayush over the last many years and pick up his brains on how he is thinking about retail, offline, online, digital marketing, and a host of other topics. I've always found him very, very analytical. Every time I've spoken to him, I've learned so much from him. And I'm sure our listeners will learn as well today as part of the podcast series. Ayush, welcome to OmniTalks with AdYogi.
Thanks a lot, Anshuk. Thanks a lot, and that was a very kind introduction. Yes, I am the Chief Marketing Officer and the Digital Business Head at BombayShirtCompany. And part of my daily job is to answer these many choices that you put, many questions on what is digital, where does it sit for an offline channel. So really looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely, Ayush. So let's start with this. So BombayShirtCompany is a brand we all know, right? Can you tell us a little bit backstory of the brand? Yes. And also maybe tell a little bit about your role at how it has shaped over the last few years at BSC?
Great. So as you would know, BombayShirtCompany is a homegrown brand, started in 2012. Akshay, who's the founder, had a very personal problem that he's a tall guy and the ready-to-wear shirts won't fit him. And he found that the whole made-to-measure experience in India was broken, especially at the top end, because going to a shop to get fabric and then getting a tailor who gets the fit right and has the right machinery to take care of the expensive fabric, all of that was like a very chaotic process. So he had some background in fashion. He had done his MBA, he was working, but then he decided to quit and start this, solve this problem. First started to solve it online. That didn't work. And we'll talk about it. Why anything which is custom or made to measure, personalized, it really struggles to take off in online. So then he ended up opening a store in Kala Ghoda. Now he's a Bombay boy. He's very familiar with the city. And which is why he named the brand BombayShirtCompany. His first store in Kala Ghoda, I think, was a masterstroke. It just took off.
Wow.
And very soon there was demand for a lot more. Just before COVID, I think BombayShirtCompany had around 15, 16 stores. Predominantly offline. And then COVID happened. 2-3 very tough years for the company.
I understand.
But now, since then, like last 2-3 years, again, things have started looking much better. We are today at around 30 stores. We'll end the year at around 35 stores. Offline still remains to be the major part of the business, and online, which I head, we are trying to still find the right PMF for it. However, in offline, we are very confident now. We are opening roughly a store a month. We want to take that pace up a notch by next year. We are expanding rapidly across metros in the country. And even from a product lens, we continue to do really well with make to measure, which is your custom made shirts. But we are now also entering across all the other categories of menswear. So it's a really exciting time. The idea is to build like a premium menswear brand because we see a lot of white space there. There are not a lot of relevant young menswear brand in India. So exciting times. And I joined BombayShirtCompany around a year back. I had spent most of my career with Unilever, but wanted to come to this side of the startup world. And I joined it around mid of last year. It has been an exciting time because there's so much to do and learn when it comes to doing marketing for retail, for offline.
Yes.
That's been the biggest challenge of my job. Creating playbooks that we can use to deploy when we open a store or we have to, let's say, take a store up a notch. Those are the big challenges that I face on a day-to-day basis. So yeah.
It's very interesting that you spoke about customizations and online having a little bit of a diff. And I remember some of the conversations Ayush we had. I've also seen that the moment you land a person on the website and you start asking them too many questions, said what is your fit, what is your size, are you slim? I've usually seen people drop off.
Exactly.
And my experience has been that when it comes to more customized clothing, I think sort of an offline experience sort of weaves in really well.
Exactly.
So what has been your experience in when you started online? Now you have a retail offline business and an online business going on.
Yes.
What has been your experience in balancing the two? Where are you seeing those big green shoots happening?
It's a tough one. So I'll start with the first thing that you said, which is customization not being a easy thing to sell online. I think you were the first one who pointed it out to me. And I'm really grateful for that. It was literally, I think, in the first month or so of me joining BombayShirtCompany where you came back with this thing that globally there is not any large business that has been built on customization online. And since then, I've given it a lot of thought and realized why is it so. I think in online, the typical customer journeys of very instant gratification. Like you have to quickly get to the product, the right product, or you keep browsing and then you have to want to check out as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
As soon as you get into customization, you start asking questions about ki collar kaisa hoga and like how would your sleeves be and what button do you want. They all become conversion killers.
Yes.
It becomes really difficult. Unless someone is like really passionate about designing their own shirt, which I can tell you most men are not, which is why we try to do that for them. It's a bit of a conversion killer.
Okay.
And hence what we have done now is take a step back in online on customization. So so since you said that and since we have now started believing in it, what we have done is we have allowed people to buy even made-to-measure shirts in standard sizes. And we see 80% of the new customers who we acquire online today, they buy a made-to-measure shirt but in a standard size.
Understood. Okay.
Right. And they'll do some small customization. They'll maybe put a monogram on it.
Okay.
Right. So that clearly tells you that trying to do made-to-measure in online was not working. However, in offline, it's a very different thing.
Yes.
In offline, what a made-to-measure experience delivers is a lot of power and a lot of comfort to people that they can, because they have a stylist sitting next to them. And that stylist really aids the whole journey, is there to help you pick up the right fabric, pick up the right customization, tell you what kind of buttons, what kind of collars, again, the whole gamut of things. And that is really powerful, which is why we don't see ourselves as ever becoming an only online and an only offline. I think there is space for both these channels, but they're very different roles in a men's shopping journey. I think scaling up offline is the way forward for us for a long while, although we are now also building the right PMF for online. So yeah, that was the answer to the part one. What was the second thing that you had asked on this?
Yes. So I think what I also wanted to ask is, Ayush, you spoke about opening a lot of retail stores in your first description of BombayShirtCompany. And I can understand it now why. Because as a customization, you need to really give that feel to people to like touch and feel and sort of get their custom fittings done. Now help me understand, just like the pressure I get from my brands, that if I'm opening a store, I need it to be P&L positive in the first 3 months. Do you also have some metrics internally? And how are you thinking about marketing your new stores? How do you make people come into your stores and start purchasing so that the store starts to look more profitable?
Perfect. So that now is the key lever in our P&L. The earlier we can get our stores to profitability, the more stores we can open and the faster we can grow. Right? There are multiple steps, like it's again a funnel of sorts.
Just like all marketing.
It starts by actually asking the very basic question of where to open a store. Now, in that itself, we have some lessons, like opening a second store or a third store in a city is much better than opening a new store in a new city. So we have started doing those things very judiciously. We are now not expanding across cities carelessly, because marketing needs density. If you have density only, then like this mental and physical availability, if you have multiple physical touch points, then it always is more ROI positive to build mental reach. So that is part one. Now, within a location, within a catchment, within a city, how do you open a store? Again, the idea is to be at a place where you think some footfall is guaranteed, or at least visibility is guaranteed.
Yes.
So malls really help, or high street location also we choose that way. And then we are now building a machine of marketing that ensures the right footfall happens fast enough. Because if you're so what we have seen is if you're able to get a store to a certain revenue in 4 to 6 months, it sustains. Yes. And so the idea is how do we get to that takeoff revenue, or what you call a break-even revenue, as soon as possible, because then we can go to the next store. To do that, awareness is very important.
Yes.
So being really focused in first identifying the catchment of that store, and then being really focused in driving awareness there becomes the first task.
Absolutely.
To do that, we use both offline and online.
Understood.
Offline helps because, again, it's very hyper-local.
Yes.
But now increasingly, we are also using online. Baby steps, but let's say we have started tapping into hyper-local influencers or hyper-local pages. So if we are opening a store in Bombay, we might go to a Bombay-based page to say, hey, new BombayShirtCompany store is opening in Kemp's Corner. That was always there. What we are now getting more and more involved in is how do we use new tools, new ways to actually really go deeper and be able to attribute whatever efforts we are putting there to the footfall that is finally coming into the store.
Yes.
So it's an interesting journey, and a lot of effort going into ensuring that the store takes off right in the first 4 months itself.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, marketing needs density.
Yes.
I've learned something definitely new today. I'll tell you my experience working with one of the brands we work with, Malmal. Yeah. So the owner of Malmal once asked me, Anshuk, if I open my stores in Delhi, would my online sales go down or go up? Yeah. And this was 2019. I can see that expression on your face, such a trivial question.
No, it's an important one.
Trust me, in 2019, I didn't have an answer to that. Yes. But now I can definitely say that if you open stores in a city, the online sales actually goes up.
Yes.
Because marketing needs density. More stores means one sale in each of the store can go up, and the sale in online can also go up.
Definitely. And even if you look at it again from a customer journey point of view, especially for us, what is our ideal customer journey? Our ideal customer journey is that if you come in to the brand through some friend telling you, or you're seeing an ad, and it's usually a lot of those factors coming in together, you come to us once, you come to our shop, get measured, have a great experience, find your style.
Yes.
Maybe order for the first time in the store, and then you just repeat online. Yes. Why do you need to then visit a store again? We have your measurement saved on your profile. We have your preferences saved. You can just keep reordering again.
Yes.
So it's actually online and offline really complement each other. And even if you are looking at a pure online customer, if he or she sees your shop in one of their favorite malls, where they have where they see other good brands, their trust also goes up. Yes. So it's then easier to convert them in online journey as well. So I think they both feed off each other. I think offline is a great way to not just build physical presence, but also build brand presence in people's life, get them curious. And then you can do so much within offline setup in terms of delivering great experiences. You talked about it that I think how do you get people in? How do you build curiosity? That there is so much to do in a store. If you do a great store, people automatically fall in love with the brand, and then they trust you more when they come online as well. So I think Omni is the path ahead.
Yes, absolutely. There is no doubt about it, which is why we are doing this podcast series as well. Yes. And let me just pick up on one of the points I spoke to you recently about. Marketing calendar is useless without a measurement calendar. Yes. And that's also one of the one-liner which has come up. I've always been a fan of the one-liners you give, Ayush. But tell me a little more about how are you using online to drive store footfall and revenue, and how much of a role does measurement play? What kind of matrices are you measuring? Tell us a little bit of that analytical gyan behind all the Omni work you have been doing.
Yeah. So I think there are two parts. I think one is to figure out what to measure, and second, how do you measure it, right? So if it comes to an offline store, the key matrices are very simple. It's about number of people walking in, how many of them are you able to convert, and what is the AOV, and then what is the repeat rate. It's like a whole cycle.
Yes.
Earlier, what was possible even like maybe 3, 4, 5 years back was to get a fair sense of your website visitors basis a certain location, and then you could to some extent figure out, okay, if my website visitors are going up, my store footfall will also go up in the same catchment, because that basically means brand is getting some interest. There are people who are checking you out. Maybe they'll convert offline. So we always had tracked sessions by location as a way to see whether our marketing is moving in the right directions or not, and especially organic sessions, organic searches. What I think is very interesting now is actually being able to get the kind of precision we have in online, because in online you have data across all touch points. In offline, typically data used to break because you're not able to connect the website visitor to the store visitor.
One of the big challenges.
One of the biggest challenge. How do you close the loop?
Yes.
You know, so many people are coming to the website, and then you know there are people who are visiting the store. How do you ensure that they are the same? They are the part of the same set. I think more and more measurement there, closing the gap from online awareness generation, website visits, etc., to actually coming into the shop, either as a footfall or even converting and then buying. That is a place where I see a lot of now work happening.
Yes.
And I'm really happy for all brands like us. This is now hopefully the cue that you don't need to spend only in offline to get traffic offline. You can spend online to get traffic offline. One of those really big myths that has been around is that for online sales, spend money online. For offline sales, spend money offline.
100%.
I think that will break. And how Meta has been able to, let's say, disrupt the traditional advertisers in the digital space. I think the same might now very soon happen in the offline space with all these kind of measurements coming in, because then you can very precisely figure out which creative is working, which kind of campaign is working, whether A influencer is better or bigger than the B influencer for you, who's the right fit for you. So as soon as this loop gets closed, I see a lot of measurement scope happening. And yes, coming back to the larger point of marketing needs a measurement calendar, I think it is imperative today for every CMO or marketing head to justify what is the role that they play in the P&L. And I see marketing has an impact on both. If you do great marketing, you can help improve the margins by premiumizing consumers, by not getting into dirty discounting games, by driving loyalty up. And the second is also in the bottom line, if you have the right assets, if you have the right offers at the right touch point, you can also drive volumes a lot. And any marketing activity that you can not isolate in either of these two, even from a long term, and I'm not saying you need to be very precise, saying, hey, I spend 1 crore and I'll get 5 crore ROI. That's not necessary. But you need to be accountable for that 1 crore that you spent in being very clear on saying this helped me drive the premiumization or it helped me drive the volumes or both to some extent. And I think increasingly marketeers will have to really balance both out.
Absolutely.
Right. On the creative side, how do you get the right message for the right audience? But also on the measurement side, which metrics do you look at? That is one of the toughest questions today, because there's so many of them.
100%.
So yeah, having a great measurement calendar just ensures that there's discipline in the team, that they're moving in the right direction, that whatever output they're producing, they know whether it's actually helping the business or not. And then they're able to learn. The whole learning process only starts when you measure stuff. If you only keep building things and not measure it, how will you ever know the feedback on it, whether it's working or not?
100%. In fact, Ayush, I'm super glad that you spoke about this one line, that online ads does not mean only online conversions, and only offline ads does not mean offline conversions. In fact, that's one of the taglines we have been using at this podcast today. We want to break the myth that you can actually run online ads to drive real world footfall and revenue into the campaigns. You also spoke a bit about ROAS, and I really like when people speak about ROAS when talking about omni-channel campaigns, because I want to break one more myth today. People, you can think about omni-channel campaigns as actually your performance campaigns. They need not be just thought about as brand campaigns. You can actually track the amount of spends going into each store on Meta. You can see the kind of revenue which comes into the store, and you can also link ROAS if you have got the right signals in place. Let's also double click on the Meta point you spoke about, right? I know you've been doing a ton of work on Meta, Facebook and Instagram, driving footfall and revenue. Tell me a little more about how do you see Meta playing a role in your omni-channel structure? You can talk about the work you have been doing, some learnings you have, which viewers of today can actually pick up from there.
So again, just to caveat it, I think our omni-channel journey on Meta has just begun. So let me just take a step back. I think Meta, for us and any brand like us, is one of their biggest advertising partner, right?
Absolutely.
And kudos to the platform and kudos to the teams who are helping us navigate the platform, that it is still one of the most powerful tool to reach to customers at an ROI level. The kind of impact you see of Meta's and the ability to track it is unparalleled. Like it's literally rare to have marketing this much, have marketing with this much precision. And hence, for a brand like us, there is literally no way to survive in this world or win in the consumer's mind unless we win on Meta. It's very clear. Now, that has always informed our marketing strategy. Everything from how we create content or what are the campaigns that we want to run to how do we launch a new product or a new service or a new store, at the back of all our head is, yeah, finally, how will it look at us? How will it look when consumer consumes this on their Instagram feed or on Facebook feed, right? Even from a CRM lens, WhatsApp has become increasingly powerful. So we always were very much on active on figuring out the meta thing for digital, for our online sale, and even for brand building in general. Then there was a layer of local creators that we were tapping into to do hyper local activations around our store whenever and as and when we needed.
Yes.
What is now very interesting is how can we get the same level of accuracy, same level of tracking in Omni, and we have just started taking those steps now. I think with the OCAPI, the offline conversion API, we are now starting seeing those. We have started seeing some campaigns which are, let's say, giving us a X ROAS in online, give us 5x ROAS if you look at online plus offline. And that really helps you identify which is the campaign that is working better for the overall brand. So we are, as I said, predominantly we are still an offline brand. And I believe the single biggest role of marketing is to be in the service of P&L. If I have, let's say, 10% of my turnover as marketing budget and 70-80% of my business is offline, 70-80% of my budget should also go in offline.
Yes.
Today, I was very scared of doing that. Why? Because there's no confidence of tracking.
Yes.
Or I'll have to then go back to an offline, hyper-local holding somewhere, a mall activation somewhere. It's just not very scalable. If this kind of a tool gets built and the stack becomes very robust, what it will help us do is then allocate our marketing budgets by our channel mix.
Yes.
And just coincidentally, for example, a customer for me in offline is 2 to 3x more valuable than online customer.
I can imagine.
From an LTV point of view, we have better retentions, we have better AOV because the experience is so differentiated.
Yes.
We do in offline what no one else is able to do. In online, we are just another brand. Honestly, we are still figuring out what is our right to win. We are leveraging a lot of our offline learnings there or made-to-measure learnings there. But that ability to now actually divert budgets as per the P&L requirement because there is attribution built in. That for me is really empowering. We have just started that journey. We have just started our first few OCAPI campaigns. They're already showing us much better ROAS on certain creatives if I look at the Omni-channel versus just digital. And I think it's a very interesting time to be in this position where we can see things moving, where digital first companies like Meta are waking up to the power of selling offline, and offline companies like us are really happy that there are more partners coming into the ecosystem who can help us navigate this really tough landscape of consumer mind space, which is very cluttered today. So anything that we know is more ROI efficient really helps us do better. So exciting times. And first day on OCAPI, first time, like day zero on building this out. So really excited to see what comes next.
Yes, Meta has definitely woken up to the retail opportunity, which is why we are having this entire omni-channel discussion as well. For our viewers, I also want to tell them a little bit more about OCAPI. OCAPI is actually offline conversion API for them to understand. What it essentially means is you can now send signals back from the point of sales machine back to the Meta ecosystem. We can now track offline ROAS corresponding to all of your online campaigns, and which is what Ayush spoke about from terms of measurement as well. It has been a very, very exciting discussion today. I want to tell to our viewers that just like BombayShirtCompany actually sells tailor-made shirts, your omni-channel strategy also has to be tailor-made. It can't be one size fits all. There are 4 steps to an omni journey. You need to get your signals right, get your offline conversion API done. Make sure you run your Meta campaigns in the vicinity of your stores. These are omni campaigns. Make sure you get the right store content ready for your campaigns. We have seen that people walk into the store is incredible content to run on Facebook and Instagram. And lastly, marketing calendar is useless without measurement. Get your measurement in place. Thank you so much, Ayush, for being part of this podcast.
Thank you.
I learned a lot of new things today. And to our viewers, stay tuned for more. We have a lineup of some of the exciting leaders from some of the biggest brands in India talk about how they have implemented these exact same omni strategies which we discussed today. Stay tuned. Watch out for more.